Hello, I'm Fez Renel Hernandez, and this is my Break the Mold project. I'm recording currently from my dad's office at home in Milton, Wisconsin. Um, I love presentation, so I wish we could be in class right now, but that's all right. Um, so my project is the Wright Brothers Middle School. We believe all students can soar. We believe all students can soar. Be safe, organized, accountable, and respectful. I chose this to be the mission statement of the middle school because it is short and in a fun way to explain the four main attributes that are expected from middle schoolers. Not only will this mission statement make the school and environment easy to teach and learn, these expectations will help students succeed or soar, if you will. Just so you know, background information, this junior high will be serving 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Middle schools typically hold 6th through 8th grade or sometimes 9th grade or 5th grade. The particular middle school I went to back in Milton, Wisconsin, our school only held 7th and 8th grade. We had intermediate, which had 4th, 5th, and 6th, so there was no reason for us to have 6th, 7th, and 8th. In this school specifically, usually most middle schools I've been to, they're arranged by grade level or different things. Like my middle school, they had the red and white team for 7th and 8th grade. If you're in the red 7th grade team, it was just randomized. You'd be put into the red side, so you had like certain teachers. Like there would be 2 teachers for 7th grade to teach history. And if you're in the red team, you get Mr. Whites. If you're in the white team, you got Mr. Steinke. But how I decided to split my school up was by the classes it taught. So like all the 100 level classes are the science classrooms, and they would be teaching biology and earth science. All the 200 classrooms are the elective classrooms, so like art class, tech ed office, the music room, which would hold choir and band, obviously at different times, or the room 204, it would hold philosophy. The 300 classrooms, they hold social study classes, and the social studies that they would be teaching would be world history, American history, and civics. The 400 classrooms would hold all the math classes, gross. 500 classrooms would be the world languages, 501 and 502 would hold Spanish, just because that Spanish class is offered mostly in most schools. And then 503 would teach French, and 504 would teach Mandarin. The 600 classrooms would be the English classes. So my school is a little weird layout. You kind of can't tell where the doors are, but there is an enter, and it's between room 706 and 707. The 700 rooms would be all the resource rooms. So like the nurse's office, resource officer's office, the counseling, the school psychologist, the principal, associate principals, the student council, and where they would hold detentions and stuff. And it's important to note that I put the wrestling room, the auditorium, the gym, the locker rooms, the weight room, the turf room, the behind the stage, the pool. I put it all on the other side of the school because those are the distracting activities, so people wouldn't get distracted from the classroom. What the classroom wouldn't be able to see. And the library and the cafeteria actually are accessed from the outside. So like the students would have to walk out and back in to get to the cafeteria and to the library. I just think that's really cool, and it just gives that like college campus feel to middle schoolers. We had something like that in my middle school. The student services, this is important to have. So the academic advisors, I think my middle school, we had that for 8th graders going to high school, choosing their classes. And it helps guide students to do better in school, to meet their goals. And students that are struggling will receive more help and be taught how to be organized, responsible, and they will become much more self-aware of their abilities. And I had one in 6th grade. I had an academic advisor, and he would come and make sure my locker was like organized and clean. Those were like my tests to see like my paperwork's all my folders and notebooks. And it wasn't a burden, it was more like to help me. A counselor helps figuring out, counselors, at least at my middle school, and how I would have them in this middle school, would help figure out student schedules, and they're also a resource for students to come for help or to talk things about any issues. The nutritionist is important because some students just don't have healthy eating habits, and I think middle school is the great age to learn these habits. And they can also come in and help with health classes and just be like, yo, eat more fruits, because an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But like that's not true, because like when I got diabetes, he told me, oh, you have to actually eat less apples because they have a ton of sugar. And if you keep eating apples, I will come to your home. Okay, the doctor didn't like threaten me, but like basically he told me that. School psychologist is important because sometimes students just middle school is kind of the time where people like start developing mental illnesses or starting to be more aware, and stuff just happens. Life just happens, and a school psychologist can go deeper about these kind of stuff than a school counselor could when speaking to a student, and that'd be their focus is to help with mental health. And a resource officer, I think, is important. The officer not only protects the school grounds, but are there for student support. So like if something goes missing or something's lost or something gets stolen or a fight breaks out, like that resource officer is there to protect the staff and to protect the students. I believe English second language services is important to any school because you never know what someone's background is. So these are classes designed to teach a variety of language skills to non-native English speakers. ESL classes can help school-age children and adults learn English and by listening, reading, and writing skills. These classes can also help them develop conversational and cultural appropriate speaking skills. ESL classes and the grades from K to 12 are generally offered through the school system, and I was lucky that my school system, though it's primarily English speaking, primarily white, and I was actually the only Mexican in my grade, they still had the services to help me if I needed it. Family within education. Successful parents' involvement can be defined as the active, ongoing participation of a parent or primary caregiver in the education of his or her child. That's Brenda Treat. Brenda Treat's actually the middle school teacher I had, and she's the one I interviewed for our teacher interviews. And to go along with what she said, parental involvement helps students with achievement. This can be done obviously through parent-teacher conferences, but also through volunteer days or workshops parents can come to. My dad is a very hardcore advocate of education. My dad has been pushing me to go through school all my life. And whenever there was an opportunity for a parent to come help or volunteer or do a workshop, my dad was always there. It's a funny story. In 3rd grade, we needed parents to come help with an art project and this big project they were doing for the community. And my dad actually went to the wrong classroom. He was there volunteering and doing his part as a parent and supporting education, but he happened to go to the classroom next to mine, so me and him never got to see each other at all that day. And I got home and I was like, I thought you were coming. And he was like, I was there. Now, business and community within education. When a school is struggling, they have a strong relationship with the community, then the community can reach out and help when needed. Not only financially, but just in any way they can. A community can do more than just give donations when needed. They can volunteer, build things, or help in so many other ways. Businesses reinforce the value of learning, the fact that everybody can learn, and the ways in which academic skills relate to what happens in adult life. Having business contribution and work along with schools can show students all the different opportunities they have after high school or after college. Also, they could just help donate and help schools with finances. A partnership will help the school and the business itself, because if a business is supporting the school will support the business, and the community will support that business as well. A story that happened when I was in high school, we were doing the play All My Sons, and a fire started. We lost the set. The set was gone. We were told we probably weren't going to perform at all, but the businesses and the community in the area, they stepped up. Though we had to push back the play dates of about a month, that gave us more time to practice, and the community and the businesses around us came through, and the bank, it donated a ton of money. The families around town, like some carpenters and stuff, they were building sets for us and bringing us the sets, and my parents helped bring a bench in. It just works out when a school is working with businesses in the community, because it takes a community to teach a child or to raise a child, and I firmly believe that. And without the community or the business around my high school or around my middle school, we wouldn't have got through so many things. I was able to go to New York City for a field trip, go to Boston, go to Texas, because people in the community were willing to donate to the different clubs and help out. The dream team. This is from what I would look for in a teacher. I believe a teacher should have strong ethics, strong beliefs, strong morals. Ethically, I would look for someone that's religious, not necessarily Christian, but when it comes to interviewing or something, I would want to know if they're going to church, or what their beliefs are, not politically, but just know how they would treat a student or act around a student. I want a teacher that's patient and passionate about their teaching. If you're not passionate, then why are you teaching? I don't want you in my building. Armstrong has 5 interventions: opportunity to choose, self-awareness, peer learning, effective learning, and expressive arts. And as an English teacher, it was really fun to make an assignment where these things would all come together. So mine was the Brave New World project, where I would have students choose a poem or a short story about a dystopian future or a post-apocalyptic world, and just read about it, analyze it, and present it to the class however they want. So how we have the opportunity in this class to present our break the molds, we can either do a video, PowerPoint, or make a trifold, and that's something I would give my students an opportunity to do. The opportunity to choose comes when a student can choose what poem or their partner or what short story they read. The self-awareness activity is that the student will choose something. When they're analyzing, they have to reflect within the story. So they're learning more about themselves, and they're learning about the author, and then they're trying to find meaning into the story and breathe meaning into it from their lives to this. The peer learning connection is when, like I said, they can choose their partners, and what they'll do with their partners is they'll they'll analyze both their stories. Like one partner would have their short story, the other partner would, and they would just talk and analyze and compare. And at the end, it's just like expressive arts, like they express themselves with whatever way they want to present this. Sports and extracurriculars. I believe all sports and extracurriculars have a common goal: to keep students motivated to come to school, to have good grades, and to expand young minds. For many students to feel special, they want to be a part of something special. That's from Glee. There are many students out there that do not have a good home to go to, so these clubs help them in being safe. Another common thread between all extracurriculars is that they teach responsibility and confidence. That is why all extracurricular sports and clubs will always be important and are needed. And the ones that I chose for Break the Mold were for sports would be football, wrestling, and weightlifting, and my clubs would be yearbook, theater, choir, forensics, art, and student council. All things I was a part of from 7th grade till 12th grade. School pride. This is just a short video. Well, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but it's just different like things that we could do as a school. Like we held 2 assemblies in 1 week, cheerleaders dancing. This is homecoming week for us. I actually helped make these homecoming videos. Such a fun night. There's just different school color representations. Every grade had a different color. So like juniors were purple, seniors were pink, sophomores were blue, freshmen were orange, and like just the more colors you wore. This is the pep band, the cheerleading squad, and then we have Palms coming up. Yep, that's Palms. We have the parade, and it just having these events. Friday Night Lights, like the football games. I was playing. It just brings the school together, and staff, teachers and staff all together. Like the band, and then we're going to go into the choir room. This is show choir represented. I was also in show choir. I loved it. Loved. Cheerleader show choir. Show choir was huge. And then, of course, I'm not skipping wrestling. Look at that. Look at these gentlemen. Oh, yes. Oh, there's Fez. All right. I just believe, like, just bringing the school and staff together will bring school pride. Oh, there's my ex-girlfriend right here at the end. Yep. I don't want to see that again. School safety. We will lock all exterior doors when the school is in session or students are on campus. If anyone needs to enter during the school day, they will have to be buzzed in and approved by the office. We also have a resource officer to rely on. And digital responsibility, the internet at the school will be password protected with restricted codes and access. Additionally, all electronics provided by the school will be used strictly for school purposes. Students will be taught the importance of using good ethics online, including preventing cyberbullying. And with that, with great power comes great responsibility from Spider-Man. And with that, it's just going to learn like the computers or phones, everything, the internet, it is great power, and it comes with great responsibility. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so excited to hear you guys' responses. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.